Hi everyone, Baron Cinder here. Today I'm going to be taking a look at a Sailor Moon game on the Sega Genesis. I will have the proper title in the title of this video here. Looks like the gang's all here. This game came out in 1994, and as you can probably tell by the text, this is the Japanese release. I'm playing this on an emulator. And surprise, surprise, it's another scrolling beat-em-up. I played a lot of these on my channel, and there are just so many of these in existence. Graphics are pretty nice on this one. The character is fairly large on the screen. I like the nice vibrant colors, and everyone seems to have quite a few frames of animation, which always helps. But the core gameplay is pretty much unchanged from Final Fight or Streets of Rage. Of course, you've got the mildly destructible environments and the food pickups to restore your health. In this case, they're all sweets, cakes, and sodas and things like that. Got your standard cheap enemies who get a hit in whenever they can. Controls are also standard. You punch with the A button, jump with the B. C button is a special attack that takes away your health if it connects, but it's good for when you're surrounded by enemies. It kind of shakes them off of you. You've got the sort of pseudo 3 dimensions. You've got the foreground. You can move up a little bit into the background. Those two remind me of a character from Soul Calibur, I think. I like how the character's icon flinches when you get hit. Of course, we have an elevator level here because all scrolling beat-em-ups must have an elevator level. It is kind of satisfying throwing people over the edge here. I like how every time there's new glass. I feel like I've seen those little goblin guys somewhere before, maybe in an old Honeycombs commercial or something. I am secure enough in my masculinity to admit that I have watched Sailor Moon before. I wasn't an avid fan, but I probably ended up seeing most of the episodes. I liked the light-hearted humor that many of the episodes had. I also liked the sort of soap opera melodrama of people not remembering who they are and stuff like that. What I didn't like about it was how formulaic the episodes were. As I recall, every episode followed the same format. They would fight a little bit, then the bad guy would power up, and then the good guys would power up. It was sort of like Power Rangers in that regard. You know, the same thing every episode, and I think they even reused the exact same footage. I'm sure that saved them a few bucks, you know, from the animation company, but that was a bit bland. Have no idea what's being said here. There's Tuxedo Mask. It's the only character I recognize so far other than the scouts themselves. And like all scrolling beat-em-up bosses, this one has a few different health bars that you have to power through. Just spamming the punch button here. guessing that C is my grade. Don't know for sure. Okay, looks like I'm outside Disneyland here. I just got hit by a panda in a little train. That's interesting. Any kind of novelty is good in this type of game. I know I've ranted about the beat-em-ups before, but I will do so again here briefly. I kind of want to do a montage video with like a second from each of these just to show how many there are and how similar they all are to each other. I mean, this to me indicates some of the mediocrity of gaming in the 90s. You know, on the PC you had all these so-called Doom clones that really didn't offer anything fresh or original. On the 16-bit consoles you had beat-em-ups like this. You had a lot of scrolling vertical and horizontal shooters that were nothing special. Just totally generic. I kind of wonder how they got away with it. I'm guessing there was a certain percentage of children who bought anything that had their favorite character's likeness on it. And through basic economics, I guess if people kept buying it, they kept making it. But yeah, I almost feel like they could fart out a game like this in a weekend. I don't know if they just licensed the game engine from another company and just added their own characters to it or what, but yeah, any one of these 90s beat-em-ups are fairly interchangeable. I just noticed a second ago how that little blue guy totally used Blanca's move on me from Street Fighter, that one there. So yeah, while there's nothing wrong with this game, it just feels really uninspired. I feel like I've played this 100 times before, just in the process of playing other similar games. And it's kind of too bad. You know, graphically they did put some work into this. Well, gotta watch out for those pandas. But in terms of the gameplay, you can tell they were just sort of phoning it in for a paycheck. It's just very uninspired. To be fair, I know it's based on the arcade tradition, which is, it's meant to be a fairly short, shallow experience. You know, you put your quarter in, you get your 2 to 5 minutes, and then you put another one in if you want to keep playing. I think another reason why they were able to get away with being so unoriginal back in those days was because a lot of times you were buying games based on box art alone. You know, if you wanted to read a review of it, you would have to get a magazine. You couldn't just go online and read people's gripes and user reviews and such. So in that sense, I guess we have it pretty easy these days. The designers definitely have to try harder. Ooh, we got some new enemy types here. They look like robots wearing dresses or muumuus or something. Just like those husky fellows in Streets of Rage that do the flying belly flops. Now this is kind of cool. I like the Candyland motif here. Again, any kind of novelty will help in a game like this. I guess the best thing I can say about games this generic is that they really make me appreciate games that really took advantage of the hardware, or games that had really well-written stories or really interesting gameplay gimmicks. In other words, memorable games. This kind of makes me want to play one of those. Looks like we got strawberry shortcake, gelatin, and I'm thinking that's flan right here. Kind of making me hungry. As always, I've got the sound turned off. You're really not missing too much. It is kind of shrill, I would say. The first time I played this, I was fairly impressed by the variety of enemy types in the first level. But now that I'm playing it further, it looks like they just keep recycling the same ones over and over. But they palette swap them. They just give them a different color scheme. So yeah, I watched Sailor Moon. I liked it well enough, more or less. It was entertaining. I'm not really what you'd call a rabid anime fanboy. I'll check it out once in a while on Netflix and enjoy it for the most part. But, not one of those super fans by any means. They really get passionate in their, debates about subbed versus dubbed, etc. Anyway, I don't know what more I can really say about this. I think I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here so it doesn't get too monotonous. Again, the graphics are very pretty. This looks very close to a respectable arcade port. I'm guessing it was originally an arcade game. It just happens to resemble many other games of this genre. Again, this is Sailor Moon on the Sega Genesis. Thank you very much for watching.